Welcome back to the channel Coins Collector. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating stories in American coin history, a story that combines rarity, mystery, and the incredible power of collecting. At first glance it might just look like an ordinary penny, the kind you could find in your pocket change, but this coin is far from ordinary. We are talking about the 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors around the world and today is considered one of the most valuable Lincoln cents ever to circulate. Now, before we explore the shocking value of this coin, let us take a step back and understand its origins. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of President Abraham Lincoln, one of the most respected and beloved leaders in United States history. It was designed by Victor David Brenner and instantly became a symbol of pride and patriotism. Over the decades, the Lincoln cent went through several design changes, including the introduction of the Lincoln Memorial Reverse in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This new design featured the statue of Lincoln visible inside the memorial, making it a coin rich with national symbolism and artistic detail. By the late 1960s and early 1970s, the Denver Mint was producing billions of these coins for circulation. The year 1970 was no different, and the Denver Mint struck millions of cents that seemed completely ordinary at the time. But here is where the story takes a dramatic turn. A tiny fraction of these coins, through minting errors and special characteristics, became incredibly rare and valuable. The 1970 D1 cent has variants and errors that set it apart from the rest, including double dies and striking anomalies that only the keenest eyes and collectors managed to identify. As the years went on, coin collectors realized just how scarce and special some of these coins truly were. And scarcity drives value. A coin that once passed casually from hand to hand in daily commerce suddenly became the target of intense competition among numismatists. Over time, the price for a well-preserved, rare 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent climbed higher and higher, reaching sums that no one could have imagined when these pennies were first minted. Today, the story of the 1970 D. 1-cent is legendary. The current market has placed its worth at an astounding $691,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny with a face value of 1 cent is valued at nearly $700,000 in today's market. That is the kind of jaw-dropping figure that makes collectors search through jars of coins, old rolls, and even pocket change, hoping that they might be the lucky one to discover such a treasure. The worth of this coin is not just about the metal it is made of, which is mostly copper, but about history, rarity, and the passionate community of collectors who drive the market. It is about the thrill of discovery, the chance that something so small and overlooked could turn out to be a life-changing find. The 1970 D. Lincoln Memorial penny has become more than just a coin. It is a symbol of the unexpected value hidden in everyday objects and a reminder that history can sometimes be hiding in plain sight. So in today's video we are going to take you deep into the history of the Lincoln cent, explore exactly why the 1970 D penny is so rare, explain what collectors look for, and most importantly, reveal how this 1-cent piece transformed into a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Stay tuned because by the end of this video you might just find yourself checking every penny in your wallet, your change jar, or that old box of coins tucked away in the attic. Today, because we are diving into a truly fascinating story from the world of coins and collectibles. Today's spotlight is on a coin that might look like a simple piece of pocket change at first glance, but once you discover its story, you will never look at a penny the same way again. We are talking about the 1993 D. Lincoln Memorial 1-cent coin, minted in Denver, Colorado, a coin that has stirred excitement in the numismatic world and left collectors buzzing with interest. Now, when you think of a penny, you might imagine something small and ordinary, a coin that barely holds any value in everyday transactions. But sometimes, these tiny pieces of metal carry far more history, artistry, and hidden treasures than we realize. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that millions of people have overlooked, tossed into jars, slipped into wallets, or dropped between couch cushions, but this very coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. That's the kind of story the 1993 D. Lincoln cent brings to the table, and it is absolutely worth your attention. So buckle up, coin enthusiasts, history lovers, and treasure hunters, because we're about to uncover how this coin came to be, why it stands out from millions of others, and how its current value has reached jaw-dropping numbers that make collectors dream of finding one in their own pocket change. History of the 1993 D. Lincoln cent. The Lincoln Memorial cent was first introduced in 1959. Replacing the wheat cent design that had been used since 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Frank Gasparo, the Lincoln Memorial reverse featured the iconic monument in Washington, D.C., with the tiny but detailed figure of the seated Lincoln visible inside the memorial. This design continued for 50 years until 2008. The 1993 issue, including the Denver Mint strike, was produced during a period when the U.S. Mint had already shifted the composition of pennies from mostly copper to a copper-plated zinc planchet. Beginning in 1982, the Mint changed the metal content to 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating because copper prices had risen so high that making pennies out of mostly copper was no longer cost-effective. That means that by 1993, all cents were primarily zinc with just a thin copper shell, giving them the familiar red-brown appearance but a lighter core. In terms of minting, the 1993 D cent had a huge mintage. Over 6.4 billion pieces were struck in Denver. To the average eye, that makes it sound like an extremely common coin, hardly rare at all. But as collectors know, sometimes rarity is not about how many were made, but about special varieties, errors, and unique conditions of certain coins. That's where things get interesting. Why the 1993 D penny is valuable. Most 1993 D Lincoln cents are worth only face value in circulation, maybe a few cents in brilliant uncirculated condition. But certain examples with rare errors, pristine grading conditions, or unique characteristics can command astronomical prices at auction. For instance, coins struck with doubled dies, off-center strikes, or minting flaws become instant targets for collectors. But even more so, when a coin from such a massive mintage survives in flawless, top-tier condition, certified by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, its value skyrockets. The highest known auction sales for the 1993 D penny have reached shocking figures, with some pristine red gem examples fetching over $10,000 to $15,000. But in the rarest of rare categories, a special top-grade coin has been valued as high as $332,000 in the collector's market. That's right, a 1-cent coin struck just 3 decades ago in Denver can be worth more than the average home in America today, all because of its condition, rarity, and demand among passionate collectors, current market value and worth today. So what does this all mean for you? Well, if you happen to come across a 1993 D penny in your change, don't dismiss it right away. While most are only worth a cent, there's always the slim chance that you could stumble across one of these ultra-valuable examples. Professional grading, careful inspection, and knowledge of error varieties are key when evaluating coins like these. As of today, the 1993 D Lincoln cent holds a legendary place among modern U.S. coins, with the rarest examples commanding $332,000 in the open market. For coin enthusiasts, it represents not only the thrill of treasure hunting but also a reminder that history and value can hide in the smallest and most overlooked places.